Good morning, starshine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa! Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with breathe air. There's no second best, okay?
GM, breathe air. Oh, I actually just breathed air there. That was fucking totally intentional. Okay. Bitcoin paths is the topic for trade of the day. Intraday paths. Here we have them. So last night I mentioned in trading analysis this. If we get an early drive off the daily open, watching 60.8, 61.3, 61.8. So let's mark those levels. 60.8, right where we are. 61.3, right around that liquidity. And 61.8, right around the breakdown point. Also correlates with a couple of these moving averages. More so looking at the resistance levels. But equally valid, all of it. So here we go. Either it does the black path and rips all the way up through it, which it's doing so far, or it rejects off one of these areas. 60.8, it could still do. 61.3, 61.8. So, I'll leave it up to your systems to trade that, obviously. The reason why we see this strong reaction is because we took out a key level. We took out a lot of stops and we went below some higher time frame moving averages. And you can see a sharp reaction of it if there are short positions that need to be cleared out here. Question for me is, are we going to continue right away higher and go for that big move from daily levels, which it could go all the way up here? That can happen both ways. That could just happen with a straight up move here where, we finish the day somewhere around here. We have a strong move and then we chop throughout Saturday. And then Sunday it goes. When you get Sunday going into Monday, you start to see this momentum really kick off. And it's one of these shutout rallies that nobody has a fucking clue how to get into because it's just so aggressive. And it makes its way to either this resistance or makes its way to the highs, and then that's where you top out. And of course, you leave a huge gap behind, and that's the risk. That's how you come all the way back down. That would require a really big move. That is possible. But in terms of today, I wouldn't see it going much beyond 62 today on that. You could have a particularly large New York session move where it does get past all of that and to 62.5, whatever, and then you spend Saturday maybe chopping back and hold, and then Sunday same thing happens. So momentum here is powerful. 60.8, 61.3, 61.8 are the levels on the upside. For it to go lower, probably it's going to be around the New York session. There is PPI data today, but I don't think that's going to really matter. CPI didn't matter. PPI is not going to matter massively to the market. It'll cause some volatility within the range, but the main move yesterday was nothing to do with CPI. It came late in the session. It was just time for those lows to get tagged. So the same thing applies here. If BTC then goes, I want to take all this off, and I want to look at the the 200 EMA on the daily. And the other way then this could go. So I'm confident that there is a higher move coming that might follow the black path and continue. The reason I drew out those pullbacks is because I could see us going down, right? Basically, going down, testing those lows, and coming back up from any of those areas, right? And then continuing the exact same thing. And it might be a really fast move. This rally has been mostly shorts covering. It has left behind loads and loads and loads of gaps. This could drop extremely fast, but then rally again. The trigger for that, whether this second move down, if it happens, if this is bearish, it won't reclaim 60. It won't reclaim that 200. So if we get this sharp move down and it either double bottoms or sweeps the lows, it can go below, whatever, or even puts in a higher low. We don't know exactly where it's going to end. And then gets back above that 200 on the low time frames. That's where I'd be starting to look at this upside rally really beginning. I like the idea of it rallying from here. I think it's okay. I would much prefer a sharp move down that takes out any early longers and then a reclaim. That to me would actually catalyze a much better chance of it running towards the 64 and 66. And then if that doesn't happen, I'll tell you at the end of the day if I think it's not going to happen, because I think the bulk of it needs to happen today, whether it's sharp move down, sharp reclaim, or a sharp move up. If we see anything else where it's just sort of chopping around in general, and you see something like this, if we see just Bitcoin doing standard stuff where it fails at resistance and just sort of chops around like this, and you close Saturday or Friday or Saturday like that, this is Bitcoin then going to make new lows, new lows, new lows, and then have to bottom out somewhere else. That's how I would see it going. There is a downwards chop path, because it just means people bet on the bottom, and they bet on the bottom, and then eventually they give up, and then we start to rally next week. So those are the paths. GM, any trades I take, of course, I'll let you know. Biased long, as long as things set up. Would love a nice sharp deep flush and a reclaim of 60. We'll see how it goes. GM.